the most underrated bodybuilder of all time.
He's a machine, and he's a huge guy. I mean, when you stand next to him, look at the width of his shoulders and this latissimus development. I always just call him, instead of calling him Paul, I just call him, hey, monster. He's just so huge, you know, his arms and everything.
He was gigantic.
He made Dorian Yates look small. He made Ronnie Coleman look small.
The sky's the limit for me right now in terms of how big I can get. I'm not putting any barriers in how big I am going to get.
And we are back with Unfiltered with Paul Dillett. Paul.
Yes, sir. Here we are.
Oh, goodness. We are a couple weeks out from the Olympia 2025. And I think one of the things that we didn't cover in the last episode was some of the things that you would do when you were getting ready for the Olympia. So if we were 6 weeks out from the Olympia, and it is Tuesday morning when we're recording this, what are you training? What does your day look like? Walk me through the whole day.
Well,
what time do you wake up? Like the whole thing.
You know what? I didn't tell anyone, but secretly I'm getting ready.
You're coming back?
Oh, hell yeah. Only in a rerun.
Run it.
You know what? 6 weeks out, this is when it gets serious, you know, because I usually start my diet and my training for the Olympia 13 weeks out. So it's gradually going in, cleaning up, start half an hour cardio here and there. Then 8 weeks out, you know, it gets a little more serious. 6 weeks is when you turn on everything, you know. So now I'm first thing in the morning, I'm waking up at around 6 a.m. I'm going to Gold's Gym, Venice.
And what kind of split were you running? Were you doing like push-pull legs? Were you doing chest on Monday, back on Tuesday? What were you doing back then?
For me, it was, you know, my workouts were kind of odd, man. It's like I never follow any of the principles.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just do whatever the hell I want. You know, luckily it worked for me.
And it did.
Because I'm more of, like I said, at 6 weeks out, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to Gold's Gym to do my first 45 minutes or 1 hour session of cardio.
Fasted.
I'm a cardio king, you know.
Dillett cardio.
Hell yeah. You know, a lot of guys are afraid to do cardio because they say they're gonna lose muscle. I never lose any muscle. I stopped after doing an hour of cardio. If I pull my shirt off, you know, I was more pumped than when I finished, you know, pumping iron.
Wow.
Yeah, so cardio for me didn't do anything. I sweat like a beast, you know. But that would be step one. Step two, I head back home. I have my protein shake. I have my oatmeal, cinnamon, unsweetened applesauce.
Okay.
You know, with peanut butter.
Okay.
That was meal.
That was right after cardio, first thing in the morning.
Yep. The glycogen, I burn off all my glycogen from the night before, so now my body will absorb all that, and it can go into storage that I can then use for my, you know, workout 2-3 hours later. So from that, I would then go back and take another hour and a half nap, wake up, have my chicken and rice, and head to the gym to meet Charles Glass at around 11 a.m. Yeah, so that's...
What was the crowd like at Gold's Venice 6 weeks out from the Olympia at that time of the day? Like, who's there?
Man, Gold's Venice is crazy because at 6 a.m. you'd think no one is there. But you go to Gold's at 6 a.m. in the morning, it's just as packed as it would be at 6 p.m. It is insane. It's insane. It was insanity, you know. And 11 a.m., it's packed. It's busy. It's not as busy, believe it or not, as 6 a.m.
Okay.
So a little more equipment would be freed up.
Okay. Are some of the other guys getting ready?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at that time, it could be myself and Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier. Charles is training all three of us together at the same time.
And back then, where did you guys set up the tripods?
Tripods?
Like, you know how they do now where everybody walks around with their tripod? How did you guys set it up?
I'm like,
did Flex carry his and you carried yours? Was Charles recording you guys?
I'm like, tripod. I'm like, what the hell is that? You know, I don't get it. I see, you know, I go in the gym and I see people they got cell phones while they're training, and I'm like, what the hell is this bullshit? You know, I'm like, you had no time to set up tripod. You had no time to take out a cell phone to train. Hell no. When you get your 1 minute break, you know, you
need
better,
it.
You better take that 1 minute and rest for when it's your turn to get back on, whether it's doing legs, doing back, or whatever it may be that day that you're doing. But for me, my split, if there was such a thing as a split for me, if I did chest that day, I'd come back, you know, later on in the night, let's say around 7 o'clock, for my third workout, because the very first.
Well, don't go that, like, let's give people like some real insight. So you get to the gym at 11, you just had your chicken and rice, and you're doing, let's say you're doing chest. What are you doing first?
Well, again, I was like a zombie at this point, and that's why I love working with Charles. So we just kind of followed him.
Okay.
So wherever he
dictated the pace.
He dictate the pace, the weight you're gonna put on.
He didn't ask you what you wanted.
No, he just you just do what Charles tells you to do.
Okay.
You know, so the reason I think it's great having a coach, a trainer, especially getting ready for shows, is your brain is not even functioning right. So it's great to have a coach who, especially someone like Charles Glass, who you're just following everything he tells you.
Right.
You know, okay, we're going to go here. We're going to start off with, what is it, bench press or is it incline press? You know, Charles is always creative. So,
Okay.
You know,
There's a lot of variety in that,
Yes.
in the workout. Okay.
Yep. So you don't ask, you don't say nothing. You just follow him to the next exercise.
Got it.
So I can't even tell you what the next exercise
Got
is
it.
going to be.
And how long were you in that gym for that workout?
1 hour.
An hour. Okay.
Wow.
And 6 weeks out, are you doing cardio post-workout or?
Oh, I'm doing my cardio first thing in the morning, like I said. And then once that 1 hour, 10 minutes of workout is done, then me and the boys, it's myself, Chris, Flex, Rico, we're all in the second room walking the treadmill.
Okay.
That was the second.
Okay.
And that's a 45-minute session of cardio.
Wow. So you're going 45 post-workout.
Yeah.
All right. And then are you done for the day? Like what's next? What's next in that day?
In that day, we're going to the firehouse.
All right.
We're going to the firehouse. Or there was another spot right across called Kookaroo's.
Kookaroos.
Yeah, man, Kookaroo's chicken breast.
If you guys are watching and you've been to Kookaroos, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and then we had Fresh to Go.
Okay.
Fresh to Go had the best turkey patty, buffalo patty, you know, turkey enchilada, all these different things. But it was all healthy stuff, which was great for us. So we didn't really have to make anything most of the time. You know, you just finish your workout and walk, a 5-minute walk, and we got everything that we would need to, you know, getting ready for a show.
Got it. And then so you guys you all train cardio, firehouse, and then what?
Once we'd sit there, that lunch probably lasts hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay, shoot the shit a little bit.
Just pure shit talking.
Okay.
It is just pure shit talking.
And back then, right? Because I know that we live in a different world, and everybody's on social media talking to each other. What was the camaraderie like? Like how is it knowing that in 6 weeks it's going to be you, Flex, Chris, like battling it out?
It's so funny, man, because, you know, even though here you are, how crazy is this? You're training with your competitor.
Right.
You're pushing your competitor. So the camaraderie was absolutely amazing. And you push each other. You didn't try, you know, any way to sabotage them. No. If you want all the guys to be the best they can be. So that way, if you beat them or if they beat you, you know, you're beating the best version of them, or, you know.
Right, of course. You want to step up against the best.
You want the best. So we weren't afraid of competition, but at the same time we had such friendship with each other. You know, we try to find out what's happening overseas with Dorian, or on the East Coast with Lavrone.
Okay.
You know, what are these guys up to? Trying to figure out if we can get to any kind of spy photos or videos.
Got it.
To see how their training is going. You know.
See what they look like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and you'd hear things, you know, so it'd get back to us, and that makes you pick your
Right.
lets you pick your game up. You know?
Right, of course. It's still competition,
Oh hell yeah!
right? It's, do you think that over the years it's become more social media driven than stage driven? Like, are people competing for likes and comments more than they are for that best package on stage?
I think today it's crazy, man. Everything people do is for social media. It's all about likes and engagement and, who sees it. We didn't give a shit about that stuff. We didn't know anything about that. For us, I'm sure if Flex or Chris, any one of the guys see this, they'll remember we used to, there was a bookstore about maybe 3 minutes from Gold's Gym, and every month we'd go there, all of us together, to go look for Flex magazine or any other magazine to see when the photos came out. Because we didn't see what we looked like until, even when we do the photo shoots, we didn't see a damn thing until a magazine comes out.
Wow. And what was the wait? Like, if you did a shoot post-show, when was that out? Like, was it 6 months? Was it?
It could be 6 months. It could be a year. It could be a year and a half later.
Wow.
You had no clue. You had no control. Where people today,
It's instant.
Yeah.
They want it right now.
Instant gratification, which I feel is what has spoiled the sport. I don't see the camaraderie in the sport that we had. I'm still great friends with, Cormier, Lee Priest. Anytime we see any of these guys, we all are happy to see each other. I see these guys, and all I see is, guys always in hoodies and hat and covered up to a T, so serious. Like, I don't even get it.
So what's the rest of that day look like? It's, you guys had lunch together. Are you wrapping it up for the day, or is there more?
Oh, there's more.
Okay.
Oh, this is a job, man. I mean, after that, we might have to go play some video games.
Okay.
Because Cormier was so big on his video games. So, it's either you do that or, you go back home, you take another
Take another nap?
Take another nap, or if you had a couple things you had to do, you go take care of that, and you're back in the gym. Like I said, at 7 o'clock, 7:30, you're back in the gym again. And depend if if you train back that day, you're coming back that evening, and you're going to come and do hyperextensions. You're going to do abs, small things, small body parts,
Details.
Body parts. Yeah.
So were you running like that 2 a day from that 6 weeks out moment moving forward, or were you doing 2 a days before that?
I always like splits.
Okay.
I always like split. For me, once prep starts, that 13 weeks out, the split starts.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Because I don't want to go in and do legs, and then do hamstrings and calves,
At the same time.
Yeah. So I focused that 1 hour on that compound training, and then come back. If you train legs right, you ain't bothering with hamstring right then and there. I mean, I remember all these stories, man, where I used to drive these little sports cars.
Okay.
I remember I had my 500 SL and did legs, and when I got home and tried to get out the car, I had such a spasm in my quads that I was literally stuck in the car. For me to get out the car, I had to roll out the freaking car because the legs are spasming so much from the training, right?
Wow.
So once you train quads in the morning, you want to come back later with it 3, 4, 5 hours later, and then you do. Then you
go again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you're doing your stiff-legged deadlifts and all these different other exercises. And
were a lot of guys doing that, or was it select few? Was it your crew, or did you see a lot of guys running 2 a days?
I think, everyone is different, but I know my crew, we all did splits.
Okay.
All of us did splits. It's just made more sense.
How much do you think that affected the amount of detail in the muscle? Because obviously everyone says it. The quality of muscle in the 90s is different. How much impact do you think the multiple times a day training had on the way that your physique showed up on stage?
I think it made a tremendous difference. I don't even know how the guys train today. I have no clue. All I know is their biggest houses. Well, no, condos. I was big as a house.
Right.
Their biggest condos. So I don't know what it does for them. You know, I think we had a different principle back then. You know, we were chasing what's called onion skin. You know, where you wanted the skin to be as thin as possible. So you know, when you show your abs, you would always move the skin around to show people just how lean we were and how transparent we got the skin. Where I find today, most guys I see on stage, they have very thick skin.
Okay.
And if you ask me what they're lacking from today to then, I would say is that, you know, it's that Samir Bannout is the one who coined the onion skin.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always talking about onion skin.
So all this technology, right? All this science, we are, you know, it's been 30-something years since that crew. Do you think that all this information that in a lot of ways has improved things has taken away from just the work, just getting in the gym and putting in work?
I think so. It's like too much.
Too much information, not enough.
Yeah. You know, guys, like I said, there's so many things I see people are doing today in the gym that I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing? Where we went to train chest and there was like 4 exercises, you know, and it was very basic, you know. I see so many different types of machines now, and I'm like, I don't even know. It looks like something from another planet, you know. And maybe it works, you know.
Right.
I mean, maybe their joints are better than my era. Maybe. You know. I don't think they have the longevity that I competed for over 10 years.
Right.
Straight. Except for the 1 year I had to take off I had a hernia surgery.
Okay. And like we talked about on the last show, not only did you compete, you competed multiple times a year. It wasn't one show.
Hell
it's like
no.
It's not 10 shows in 10 years.
No.
You know, you were doing 3, 4, 6, even 7 shows a year.
Yeah, listen.
Right? When you went on that Europe tour.
If you want to keep your contract, you better get your ass on stage and you better do well, especially if you're one of the top guys. If you're a top 10 guy, you better stay in the top 10.
So how much do you think, looking back now, how much do you think staying or getting stage ready multiple times a year influenced that look?
It influenced it a lot because it lets you learn about your physique. You know, I mean, even Dorian, you know, winning multiple titles or Olympia titles, would still go on some of the Grand Prix tours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he'd say the same thing. Yeah, you learn a lot about your body. You know, each time you diet down and go back up and come back down, you're going to learn what your body can do and what your body can't do. So definitely you're going to learn. And I think that helps to thin out the skin also.
I think in some of the conversations that we've had, we've talked a little bit about how much information you have at this point and how great it would be for Paul Dillett style training to be available to the general public, to the bodybuilders that are coming up, the ones that are, you know, that are interested in the sport, or even just the ones that appreciate that 90s hardcore bodybuilding style. Like, would there be a way that you would be willing to put out something that where you would guide people through, or at least pass on some of the information that you have?
100%. I think, again, people always have this misconception, or if it's hate, I don't know, you know. But everyone always think that, you know, there's a magic pill, you know, or this person doesn't train hard, or this person doesn't do this. I'm like, listen, I'm almost 6'3". I weighed 325 pounds. I was one of the few men who legitimately had a 24-inch python. That's legit. That's not made up. That's not pretend. Because my arms are long enough
Right.
to be able to.
They weren't flat. They weren't flat.
Yeah. You're not going to be 5'5" and have a 22-inch arm. It's not possible. No.
It wouldn't look right.
Yeah. So no, it's a legit. Or they say he trains with lightweight. Well, it's all relevant. I can curl 225 for 10 reps. Can you?
Right.
So a lot of guys who said, I'm like, I do 3 1/4 behind the neck press for 10 reps. Hey, that could be light for some people. Maybe for Big Ron.
Right.
You know, I'm doing bench press 325 pounds for 20 reps. Now, so what does that tell you? That means if I chose to do 405, I can easily get 10.
Easily.
I chose not to. That's a choice. But guess what? It worked for me. I was one of the biggest men ever walked the stage.
Absolutely.
And still had the smallest waist.
Absolutely.
Wayne DeMillia will tell everyone right here, right now. We were in Paris, and I had no trunks, and he had to go and get me a trunks. He says, "Paul, what size do you need?" I said, "A small." He goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I need a small." Waist size, 30-inch.
Wow.
That's it. That's it, and that's on a bad day.
That's
It
unbelievable.
could be under that. And people say, "That's not possible." Don't tell me what's possible, what's not possible,
Did it.
motherfucker. I just told you. Don't fucking hate. That's what it was. But at the same time, I had 32-inch thighs. At 6'3", take a look at the photos. I had a 24-inch calves?
Crazy.
Facts. You know?
Crazy.
And who's ever have shoulders as wide as mine? No one. No one. No one. No one.
Crazy.
It doesn't mean I'm the best. Great. No. Just those are just things that.
Those are the things that you did. Period.
Yeah, it was just they grew for me, and I always say this. I give credit to Gary Stratham because I love the shoulders on Gary Stratham so much that I wanted to, from I started training, he was my idol. I wanted to have shoulders like him, so I just went ballistic on shoulders, and it worked for me. And of course, there's things that I did for my shoulder routine that maybe other guys didn't. Am I willing to share those knowledge? Yeah. Am I willing to share the knowledge about how I was able to do 24-inch calves, keep such a small waistline? You know, hell yeah. Same thing goes for biceps. There are secrets. There are ways to train to get what you want. You know, so.
Well, I think that that's probably a better way to do it. I think that there should be a program where you could lay out exactly what you did and would do per body part. What would you do for biceps? What would you do for shoulders? And lay it all out step by step, all the things that only you were doing. And I think that should be accessible to people. And if it's something that you're willing to do, we can put a link in the description of this podcast, and people can go and get that and be a part of that, and then have access to something that's never been around, because you've never put anything like that out.
I've never put anything out. After training and competing for over a decade, I think I'm one of the few bodybuilders who haven't put out one thing. Not even so much as selling a T-shirt or anything like that, you know. I love bodybuilding. From when I was a kid, I love bodybuilding. I got into bodybuilding because of Tony Atlas, the wrestler. And I was telling someone, I said, you know, when I first started training, I trained for a year straight with no days off.
Wow.
It's crazy. That's how much I love bodybuilding. And to this day, I still love bodybuilding. Do I like the direction it's going in? Absolutely not. For me, bodybuilding is an illusion. Someone says, what was your best condition? What was your best shape? And it blew their mind when I told them, I said, for me, my best condition, my best shape, I only weighed 265 pounds on stage.
Wow.
And it was the first Arnold Classic. I said the same thing about Flex Wheeler. He was about 218. He's never looked like that again.
Crazy.
But at 218, he looked more like 250 pounds. There was no flaws. Everything was perfect on the man from head to toe. I admired when I first moved to LA, I saw him. I was like, oh my God. I saw the perfect bodybuilder.
Wow.
Next to me, that is. But I just thought his physique was just so damn incredible.
I think we should definitely do an episode with some stories of those first meetings, like those conversations about all you guys back in the day. I think a lot of people would love to like be a fly on the wall for some of those workouts and some of those talks.
There's so many incredible stories like that, man.
But going back to like your love for bodybuilding and the direction the sport is going, from a promotional standpoint, right? Because I know that there's a lot of critique in so many different divisions and so many different categories now. But from a promotional standpoint, you can see that there are more and more people going to shows. From the business side, do you think that that's improving it, or do you still think that to a certain extent it's diluting the sport?
Well, having a lot of categories, there's nothing wrong with that. Now having a bunch of categories in the Mr. Olympia,
Okay.
I'm not for that. I was on Lee Priest's podcast, and again, perhaps my best friend in the sport of bodybuilding. You know, I think we both agree. I don't think there should be such a thing as a 212.
Okay.
No, I don't think there should be such a thing as a short or this or that. No. Mr. Olympia should be Mr. Olympia. It's the best of the best. And when you look at some of the guys who were the top 5 contender at Mr. Olympia, bodybuilders who people don't even talk about, like Muhammad Makawi, Mohammed Benaziza. These are all guys who were like 5'5", 5'6". Lee Priest. It's a giant killer.
Incredible.
And he had no choice. He had to compete against all the giants, and he slayed a lot of the giants because it was based on the best physique, not the tallest, not the shortest, but just the most complete physique on that day.
On that day.
So sometimes people get offended by how they place, or some people have these opinions, and you're like, there were so many incredible guys that on any given day, if you're just 10% off, that's it, it's over. And there was no disrespect on any of the athletes' part. Of course, everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to win. We're all chasing the title, but the respect factor was so high. And I don't know if that's there today because I don't know any of the guys. I don't know any of them. I don't talk to any of them. I think they're incredible. I think they all train hard. Like I said, I think my era and the era before myself, those are the era I like. I love Mike Christian, the Lee Haney's, that's the era. I find right now what is lost is symmetry.
Okay.
I don't see symmetry. I see a lot of massive, massive, massive men on stage. And one of the reasons I liked, what's the gentleman who won the Mr. Olympia last year? Samson. First time I went to the Mr. Olympia in 20 years was in Orlando. I hadn't gone to it in that long. And when I saw him on stage, I said to my wife, I said, I like that kid. I said, if I had to pick someone, I would pick him. But on that day, I would have picked Hadi,
okay,
the gentleman from Iran. I thought he should have won that show, hands down. He had the old school graininess. He had the density. He had the muscle. That was his show. Samson was my guy. I said, if that guy lose 10 pounds, oh my God. And then I went to the Mr. Olympia last year in Vegas, and I did the podcast with all the guys, Milos and Chris and all the other guys, Dennis Wolf, which was great to see, Dorian. And they're all picking who they think is going to win. For me, I said Samson. I picked him to win. I didn't even see the pre-show. But I said...
But you knew.
Yeah, I just said, if I'm going by what I grew up knowing bodybuilding supposed to be, the small waist, the wide shoulders.
That X-frame.
That's it. And for me, when I look at the sport, no one else has what he has. I think he brings the best package to the stage. And when I went to watch and he came out, I said, that's my winner. Do I think he was at his best? Absolutely not. I still went back to saying, man, if I knew this guy, I would tell him, man, stop looking at the scale and look in the mirror. Because even though he deserved to win last year, and I picked him as my winner, I still feel like if he dropped 5 pounds, 8 pounds, there's no one that's going to touch him. It's impossible. I don't see anyone on the horizon. He could win 4, 5, 6 more.
I think over the years, and if I'm wrong, but I don't really feel there's ever been a Mr. Olympia that every single person agreed with.
Hell no.
Right? So at every whether it was Arnold's era or Haney's era, there was always people that someone else thought should have won.
Absolutely.
And it still happens now. And I think from the fans' perspective, a lot of fans get angry when their guy doesn't win. But we live in a time now where you are letting your fanaticism for your favorite athlete get the best of you, and then not realizing that it's all subjective and it's all in the moment. Maybe you've been following your favorite guy's YouTube channel this year and all of his workouts, and you buy his super secret shake and all the things. But then he gets on stage and there's somebody who looked better that day for the judges that were there. How much more education should your basic fan have when it comes to being a little bit more, I guess, open to the idea that the people that are looking have what they're looking for, and it's not always going to be what everybody else prefers?
Well, there's a reason why it's called fan,
Right.
which means fanatics, you know? And you may believe that your guy or your girl is the best person, but it is subjective. And are you being subjective? Remember, for the judges, they are not fanatics. They're there to do a job. They have criteria that they were given, and they're supposed to follow the criteria. Where you do not see the criteria, you are not following the criteria. You're just seeing your favorite person.
And your own personal bias.
Yes. You know, this is your social media person.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that translate in being the winner. And the terrible thing about today is, like I said, when guys placed top 10 in the Mr. Olympia, they were so honored. A guy placed top 5, that's incredible. To be top 3? Are you kidding me?
Historical.
Of course. Today, nobody's happy unless they're first place. And social media is a part of it because they have all these people blowing hot air up their ass and not telling them the truth. You have coaches who are the biggest fucking liars. They don't tell their clients what they need to hear. They tell their clients what the clients want to hear because every fucking buddy is a baby today. A guy placed 12th and he wants a trophy. No, you don't get a fucking trophy. You didn't deserve one. You want a trophy? Go win the fucking show. Go back to the gym. Train your ass off. Stop bitching. Stop complaining. Stop whining. Stop being a soy boy.
Where do you think that was lost? Where do you think the desire to improve got lost? Because, for example, like if you go to the Olympics and you don't win a gold medal, you know what the standard is, right? You know so-and-so ran 1 second faster. So you got 4 years to go home and get faster. So you do it. Where has it been lost here where if you don't win a show, you don't feel like you should get back in the gym the very next day and get to work?
Social media. That's how I was. When I compete, the night of the show, for an hour or two, I might think, yeah, I'm a little disappointed. Oh, I felt I should have done better. But you know what? The next day I get up and I said, I'll show them. I get my ass in the gym. I don't complain to anyone. There was no social media to run to for people you don't know to say they're backing you up. Because they don't back you up. We were so brutal with each other when we competed that, you know, when we ask each other's opinion or we pose for each other at Gold's Gym in the posing room there, we were brutally honest with each other. There was no sugarcoating it. Today, everything needs to be sugarcoated because you have to be so sensitive towards people's feelings. If you can't stand losing, go run track. It ain't for you. Stop bitching. Stop complaining. Shut up and train. I think if more people would just shut the fuck up and train, you see a lot better bodies on stage. And that go for male and female. I don't really care. A lot of these, what I hate the most is the bikini stuff. I hate it, and the reason why I hate it is because they have no clue of professionalism. A girl trains for 6 months and decides she wants to compete. That's great. But then if she doesn't win or place as well as she thinks she should, all hell breaks loose. Let me run to social media and cry like a little baby and have a bunch of keyboard warriors behind there back me up. They don't even like you. They're full of shit. People just love to hate. People love negativity. What trends online? Positive things? Hell no. It's always negative that trends.
Agreed.
So I think maybe that's why we were so close back then. We didn't have any of this shit. We would, when we see each other in person, hell, we'll tell each other that we deserve to beat you. But then again, we would also be able to have man enough to look at another competitor and say, man, you look great. I had you taking it. That was respect. That's gone. That's
Now,
lost.
the quote unquote, I guess, shit talking in a positive way is gone.
Yeah.
Where you could say to somebody else, "There's no way you're going to take it. Right? You're not going to beat me." Like nowadays, that's perceived in a negative way. Like now, that's offensive if you said that to someone. What actually goes through your mind post show? You didn't get the placing that you want or that you thought you should have had. Are you dissecting the show in your head? Are you dissecting your physique? Or are you mapping out, like, here's what I'm going to have to do next?
Man, that's a great question. I'm dissecting my physique. I don't care what the judges say. I'm going to look in the mirror. I'm going to be my harshest critic. And then I'm going to map out my game plan to say, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Again, I was fortunate that I stick with the coaches I had, I stick with them to the end. I've had 3 coaches. Chris Aceto, who was the one who trained me to get my pro card. And I stuck with Chad Nichols and Charles Glass to the very end. I didn't jump ship. That's again, as soon as these little bikini girls don't win, it's their coach's fault. No, sweetheart, it's not their fault. Stop shoving that shit in your mouth. They can lead you to the water. They can't let you drink it. Maybe try training instead of going to the gym in your matching outfit and makeup on. That's fucking reality. You want to be the best? Train your ass off. You go to the gym to train. You go there to sweat. You don't even break a sweat, really? But then you're going to bitch and complain about why you didn't do well. You didn't do well because you didn't deserve it. Someone needs to tell these people facts and stop worrying about their feelings. I don't give a shit about your feelings. Go tell it to your mother. I'm not your fucking mother. If I'm your coach, I'm going to tell you, get your ass in the gym. Here's what you need to do if you want to be the best you can be. It's always easier to blame someone else.
Always.
Instead of take responsibility. When I was training, I always had my thing on something I put on my fridge. My placing is my choice. It's how bad do you want it? How hard are you willing to train? You know? I want it so fucking bad, but every time I go, I ran into Dorian, just like the rest of us. You know? But it doesn't mean, like, we train our asses off. Yes, we did.
I think that one of the things that's always lost when people are talking about that is you have placing, but you're still looking at the 10 guys that are the very, very best. And the thing that separates you is so small, right? We're really picking things apart. You're looking for what's wrong because everybody's right.
Yeah.
If you've made it that far, you're in the right place. So you're not even looking for all of the good things. You're looking for flaws at that point, right?
Yes.
Who came in and is holding a little bit of water? Who came in and isn't full enough? Who came in and isn't hard enough? That's really what you're picking apart.
It really is. Because when you look at that stage and you look at the top 10 guys, on any given day, you could flip them around.
Right. Any guy on stage by himself looks great.
For you to get to that point, it means you are one of the best in the world. I don't understand why today's world people can't understand and appreciate being one of the best there is. No, there can only be one number one. I'm sorry. That's it. And if you can't handle that, you should not compete. I have my own organization. I see this shit all the time. I keep telling people, what I do is not for everyone. If you don't like what I do, leave. I didn't ask you to come. I would love for you to come. I want you to come. I want you to come and have an incredible experience. I'm not here to put anyone down, take anything away from anyone. I competed for over 10 years. I've been in the game for 40 years. I've seen it all, done it all. You know, so the favorite word is politics. Politics, I don't even know you because these people compete once and then you don't see them again. I competed for 10 plus years. So how can there be politics when they don't even know you?
They say life is meant to be understood backwards, right? So all this time has passed, 40 years in the game. Now you've got your own organization. How much has your perspective changed on how the athletes should be going into a show and what the definition of being a pro is on and off the stage?
Man, the definition of a pro, to be a true professional: respect, honor, dignity. Go in with you want to win, but realizing that you don't make that choice for yourself. If I could choose to win, of course I'm going to pick myself.
Right.
But I'm never going to disrespect my peers. I never have. I'm not going to disrespect any of the judges. It is a tough job because, as we say, sometimes it's so close that you're not looking for the best person. You're looking for flaws. And it's just the game we're in, where people would say, "Oh, that's shallow." No, it's not shallow. It's just the game that we're in.
Correct.
That everyone looks so incredible that we have to start looking for flaws in order to choose the best person on that day, within that hour. Because if you're a coach, then you understand that the body can change within hour to hour. I've seen it happen to myself. So for me, that's what's lost. You know, there's no respect. There's no respect. Too entitled. If I don't get if I don't win, I'm going to run and tell social media, and then you're going to have a bunch of unhappy keyboard warriors who says, "Yeah, let's go after them." Why? They don't even know why they're going after someone. They don't even. Yeah, you should have won. Why? Why should he have won? Why should she have won? Do you know what the criteria are? Have you educate yourself on that? Do you check to see what the criteria are? Because every organization has its own criteria.
Correct.
And you as an outsider, or you as a fan, or even a competitor, you do not set those guidelines. The people who run the organization sets the guidelines. There has to be guidelines. It can't, imagine if the fans or your family and friends get to choose who wins. People would be throwing rocks and bottles.
Absolutely. And I don't want to not address on today's episode that we are we're 2 weeks removed from WBFF Worlds, your biggest event of the year, and it was a sold-out crowd.
Yes, sir.
It was that Saturday night, WBFF owned Miami. Miami is the hottest city in the world right now. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Listen, it was an incredible show. We're so grateful and thankful to everyone who came and participated, and just the city of Miami, the love and support they've shown. We have some of the biggest influencers, celebrities. You know, we have one of the biggest, celebrity designer feature in the show. So we were happy to be able to bring those things into the WBFF, because what it did, it brings in media from so many different areas that you would never get. So that's given the models another level of exposure, where just with the fitness side alone, these they're agents, managers, and like I said, medias who would have never known these incredible models and athletes exist. But because of all the things we add to it, it brought in so many. As if you were there, you see how many media did we have? Was it 5? Was it 10? Was it 15? Was it 20? You had cameras from every angle. You have people who are radio personality, TV personality, reality show people, probably half a Brickell influencer were there.
I think because of your long history with the IFBB and bodybuilding, I think a lot of people still to this day think that the WBFF is a bodybuilding federation. And a lot of times that causes confusion in what they're looking at when they see some of the models on stage or they see the runway. Could you just quickly, for the sake of anybody who still doesn't understand, just talk a little bit about what the WBFF is and what it is that you're doing and the direction that you're going?
Listen, IFBB is the greatest bodybuilding federation ever, and will still always be for me. That's where I came from. WBFF is not a bodybuilding federation.
Not a bodybuilding federation.
No, so sometimes I hear people say, she had the most muscle. I just told you, I'm not bodybuilding. We are not bodybuilding. We're fit models. That's what we are. So we look for women who are toned with more natural, curvy physiques. You know, we judge you from your head to your toe. If you don't like what we do, this is no reason to hate.
There's so many options.
Exactly. It is great for people to have options. So you should get in where you fit in. So you may not fit in with what we do, but do not come here and criticize what we do because you don't understand it. No, it is not for you. So get out the way and let the next person behind you step forward.
There's a new restaurant that opened in Miami.
Yes.
Well, this one only serves lasagna.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be the equivalent of somebody going to that restaurant and asking for a burger
Correct.
or asking for something else? It's like, that isn't what it is.
It's not what it is. We are about beauty. We're about glamour. We're about glitz. That's why we take our red carpet to
Right.
the next level. You see it. You see what it's about. Our shows, no one has a production that we do.
No.
No one spends the money we do on production. Come on. Who else does, even your runways is LEDs? No one does that. Maybe I'm stupid to spend this kind of money on it.
But the WBFF is a weekend event. It isn't just the stage moment.
It's absolutely that. It is a weekend. It's for women to come together and, experience something. Look, there's so many women out there, so many beautiful, incredible, strong, powerful women who maybe they admire a show like a Victoria's Secret or Miss Universe, or they just want to be a model. Or what is it like to be a model for a weekend?
Exactly.
This is what we do.
And you're marrying that fitness component.
Correct.
For the women, the ladies, or the girl that does want to have a little bit of a tighter physique, that is carrying a little bit more muscle, but it is not a bodybuilding show. You are not looking for the biggest biceps or the roundest shoulders or the hardest glutes.
I'm not looking for rock hard abs sunk into your stomach. And those ladies look incredible. I went to the Mr. Olympia and I saw their bikini models. And
Right. I think that's where it gets lost. A lot of times people, they don't want to hear that there's something. It's not that there's something wrong with that. It's just not here.
It's not here. Like I said, I saw those, myself and my wife, we're watching the show and we're like, oh my God, these girls are incredible. They have beautiful bodies. Their bodies are amazing. But we say, clearly, we're two different things.
Clearly.
That's for them, and what we do is for us. So I hate when I hear, I had more muscle. You're at the wrong place. We only serve lasagna. No, we don't have burgers. That's us. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's just what we do.
Right. It's a different thing. It's in a category by itself.
Yes.
No one is doing what you guys are doing.
Nope.
And sometimes that makes it hard for the fitness fan to understand because it's different, right? But I think it does bridge the opportunity for that fitness and fashion model concept to blend in together. And it does present an opportunity for something new and for something much, much bigger that can deliver beyond the stage.
Well, look, we are the first one to fuse fitness and fashion. And of course, when we started, people ridicule and, just like Fit Model. We started Fit Model back in 2007. And it was mocked. They made fun of it. Bikini model. Sponsors would even sponsor us because they said it was TNA. However, now every organization does that. Some organization tries to it doesn't bother me when organization, imitate the things we do. No, that's great. You want more people to do it. But it does ruffle my feather when someone starts something and then claim it's new and they're the first one to do it. I'm like, well, I've been doing it for 18 years. So, you know.
Little credit where credit is due.
Yeah. You want to take it and run with it? Great. I think that's awesome. But don't say you started this. And like I said, the whole fusing fitness and fashion, it's just something that I've always loved fashion from I was a boy, you know, and my wife loves fashion. So we decide we want to combine. We want to do something different. We want to be trailblazers. We want to go down our own path. We don't want to walk in someone else's trail. And that's what WBFF has done. We've trailblazed. We've created all our own categories, do everything, you know, and sometimes people, I don't even know what to say, why people just can't understand that this is who we are, this is what we do. It's not, we're not affiliated with anyone. We are our own freestanding brand, organization. We are a brand. We're not a federation. We're a corporation.
So it's 2025. It's almost the end of the summer. You guys just wrapped up Worlds. What's next for the WBFF with what is left of 2025?
Well, as you
what
know,
can the fans look forward to?
As you know, WBFF is WBFF Entertainment. So I don't think people realize, because for years myself and Allison don't talk about what WBFF is and what we do. Fitness is just the fitness shows that you see is just a very small part of what WBFF does. You know, there's so many different types of live events that we're a part of.
Are there any that you want to mention or can talk about, or is that something that you want to leave for the people to see?
Oh, I just leave it for people to see. I love the idea of working in silence, you know. But sometimes I love to give people something to hate, because you're going to hate, so let me give you something to hate. We were at the Casella. That's 19,000 people.
19,000 people at the Casella.
Correct. So you want to hate, you can hate. It's not going to stop me from doing what I do, you know. We work our asses off, both myself and my wife and our team. We work nonstop, around the clock, 24/7. People don't see the work that go into this, the time, the effort, you know, staying up till 4 a.m. trying to get stuff done. But people love to hate. Don't be jealous, because guess what? I'm a kid who came from absolutely nothing. I tell the story. I am the kid who lived in the neighborhood where the kids who were poor call me poor. So don't think I'm privileged. Don't think I'm a boy or a man now who's seen his dad twice in his whole entire life. It equals to 1 hour. So to the haters, stop hating. Stop bitching. Stop complaining. You don't even know me. Am I wealthy? Yes, I am. So what? I did it. Self-made. I took it. No one give it. Am I going to stop working hard? Best thing ever happened to me is my wife. My partner, best friend. She helped me. When I met her, it made me want to be a better man. And she's made me into a better man. You know, better, stronger. I'm unbreakable. Everything you could think of that could possibly happen to someone happened to me.
And you're still here.
I'm still here. So
getting stronger.
To all my haters, get a fucking life. You can't break me. You don't even know me, fool.
So, will you be at the 2025 Mr. Olympia?
I promised my son, which is Leap Priest, my illegitimate son. I promised him that I'm going to go, because he was upset with me, because he says, Father, you went to the Olympia last year and you didn't tell me you were going, and I was so upset with you. He goes, you're a terrible dad. So I said, if you're going, son, I'm going to come and hang out with my boy.
So everybody could look forward to Paul Dillett at the 2025 Mr. Olympia, and hopefully a 2025 recap edition of Unfiltered with Paul Dillett.
Oh, 100%. We're going to do a recap. We're going to run down what we see, and we're going to be blunt and honest. I will never be disrespectful to any of these athletes, because they're all incredible. They're all amazing. And once they're on the Olympia stage, they are the best in the world. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to be harsh about my criticism.
So till then, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We will put links in the description for Paul's training program. And till next time,
we're out.
Peace out, everybody.